How you doing? Also, running a 5K program. So basically, everyone has different starting points where they're starting. Some beginners mean they haven't done it in years. Really, what you need to be confident in is your basic strength levels. So if you haven't exercised in over a year consistently, strength is the number one thing you need to focus on. Get your legs strong, your core somewhat strong, so you can handle a 5K program as a beginner and intermediate, and avoid injury. Again, the highest priority is your gym sessions, and then after that, it's making sure that you get your steps in, or a running program like the one that we're going to outline here. So when you land on this site, unit30fitness.e/run 5k. You're going to click this picture, and then what will pop up is the following. So, following here, what pops up is an explanation. So, read through this that this program is designed for individuals who wants to improve the general fitness and performance over 5k. Also, it can be handy for fat loss as well too. Most people are going to start in phase one if they haven't ran in a while. So over a year really is kind of what I look at. Or if you've never done a 5K before, I would start in phase one. Phase two, if you've been running and find yourself a bit stagnant, then you start in phase two. So down here, that's where you see base week one. So here, that is phase one. And phase two, three, and then your test week. So the overview, let's continue reading through the overview. Some quick notes: try run on grass where possible, less impact on the body, etc., etc. At least once per week, you're going to run on hills, and always increase cadence running up the hill. So tackle the hill is just good mentally. Ensure your running shoes are the right ones. So again, get fitted in a running shop for running shoes. So they'll be able to kind of measure your kind of gait, the way you run, if you're pronate, supinate, and then be able to complement that with the correct running shoes. Day one, two, and three are the most important in this program. So what I mean by that is if I go to base week 1 to 4 and click on this and show you day one, two, and three. So what you're going to see here is the way it reads is there's day one highlighted of week one. There's day two highlighted of week two. There's day three, and so on and so forth. Now, moving back to the overview, some key terms. Aerobic training is steady state, is around less than 7% of your max heart rate, so conversation pace. So you want to be able to hold a full conversation while jogging or running. That is a key note for when you're reading the program. Anaerobic is harder running, is greater than 70%, upwards of 90% effort, and its range typically starts to produce some lactic acid, known also as hard running, and it's harder, a lot harder to hold a conversation. Some other terms as well here that you'll need to read through as well. Tempo being you're keeping a kind of steady pace that's around 10% lower effort than your actual race pace. It's very close to race pace. And then interval training is another key component of what you'll be doing in this program. Other terms: on, this means go, and you're running during hard during this phase. Off means a rest phase. Also read through these terms too. Reason for all of this is you need to educate yourself in order to how to kind of tackle this program. So I'm just going to have a quick look here at phase two to explain it. So phase two, for example, if you're starting phase two, you're actually starting week 5. So this is your week 1. Tempo means 10-minute warm up, some stretches that you've learned in the gym. Then you're just going to run 5K and pre-test and pre-assess. It says 90% because you don't want to destroy yourself, and we want you to be able to string 3 to 4 words together while running that 5K to get a baseline marker. And this means that you're going to use this baseline marker time to then retest when you come to test week. From back here to phase 2, slow means slow. You'll see here light aerobic. Okay, 30 to 45 minutes. Light aerobic. Day 3, 10-minute warm up. Then what you're going to do is 3 minutes hard, 2 minutes off by 4 times. Then you're going to run 1 minute hard, 1 minute off by 4 times. So a total of 8 intervals. Here as well, this should be tougher than the last 2 days, and you can kind of see it's an aerobic to max effort. Day 4 and 5 don't really matter as much as those first 3 days. If I'm in the gym, I'm only ever doing 3 days of running max. Again, the higher priority days are typically day 1 and day 3, as they have some intervals. I'll explain this and then leave it off in this so you guys can kind of read through it yourselves. Pyramid style training means a 10-minute warm up. Then what you're going to do is you're going to run for 1 minute hard, rest for 1 to 2 minutes between as needed. then run 2 minutes hard, then rest, then run 3 minutes hard, rest, 4 minutes hard, rest, 3 minutes hard, rest, 2 minutes hard, rest, 1 minute hard, rest. And again, here you can see the intensity is outlined again too. Again, week 2 for around 30 minutes last week. I kind of want to edge it up by around 10% to 33 to 35 minutes of my recovery run, which is conversation pace. Interval training. Here you're going to run 2K, rest for 3 minutes, do this 3 times. You're going to accumulate 6K over the course of that effort. And again, here, if it's your first time doing interval training, really the pace that you want to be at is just hovering around your 5K pace that you did here. So say, for example, you're doing 6 minutes per K in this pre-test. Here, your pace really wants to be in and around that. So around 5:55 to kind of 6:10 pace when doing those 2K runs. Again, you're monitoring for a good overall average on each of those intervals. Then even more different pyramid style, slightly different timings. And then next week, here, tempo, 80% effort. So you're going for a longer run. So you're running for longer than your 5K. So for 30, 45 minutes. And it's kind of at a conversation, just above conversation pace. And then here, there's some other intervals that have already been explained. That's most things explained. The 3-day program, as you see, as it goes on, goes from pyramid style training to tempo. So conversation pace, maintaining tempo, 80% effort. And then here as well, day 3 is typically intervals as well. Phase 3 then moves on, similar kind of stuff. A little bit more detailed. Make sure you read it. Here as well, here 5K tempo at 100%. So you can see here actually testing as well. That's important to kind of reassess midway. And then the program continues on towards the test week. So that's most things. Hopefully that explains what you need to do and how to approach it. Any questions, send me on a voice note and I can explain. And if there's a 5K program coming up in the gym or a focus group, make sure you join in on it.